What's up, guys? It's Kaisen here, and welcome back to The Awakening. We're level 20 now, and we almost made it through Act 2. What's left to do? First off, we'll run through Sacred Ground, which means we'll go to the crypt. This should be really quick. We're trying to basically not fight a lot of monsters there, just for the flask charges to get them back up, because we are over-leveled, 3 levels. And then we go back to the wetlands and go through the Vol ruins on our way to Vol. Now, one thing that I wanted to mention before we start, actually. I did get an Orb of Fusing by selling the unique gloves that we found last episode, the Rim Sorrow. So just because I only have 4 tabs here right now, I'm trying to make room for more as soon as possible. So whenever we find something in an episode that I don't need, I'll try to have it sold until the next episode. Having said that, let's go to the crypt. Level 1, let's get our aura up. And I still don't have a spot for... Actually, I do. I don't want to lie to you guys. Okay, so we can get our totem back up. Yep, here we go. That's the better setup. And here we'll just rush through. Nah, you guys are in my way. Okay, now let's kill a couple of guys to get the charges back. Decoy can level. Yep, okay, that's all good. Added fire. See, before the patch, I would have said, cool, nice, that's maybe like an Ulk for me. But now, it's pretty much worthless to sell. What are those? Brinner or Raider? Okay, we've killed them before. Wow. Tiny bit of damage there. What's this guy doing? Huh. Ball lightning or something like that? Oh, Soothsayer. Oh, okay. So he has a, what is that? Less damage and Feeble Curse. And then he throws traps. Lightning traps. I don't think I killed one of those before. So we should get another achievement here. Yep. Let's pick up the scepter. Okay, we will open the strongbox. Let's identify it. I just want to see what I'm up to. Oh man, my English today is terrible. Just to warn you guys. What I'm in for. That was what I was looking for. Because the most annoying thing is when you kill a bunch of mobs around it, and then you find out that it revives all of them when you open it. Ice Nova is not that bad. I'll just be running a bit away until the Ice Nova is over, and then I can go back in. You should, especially higher difficulty levels, you should always do that, because Ice Nova on chests or on strongboxes later on will be very, very dangerous. They deal a couple of thousand to you. Amber Amulet. Okay. Now we should be almost through with this level, I would guess. Yes, that's the way down. Crypt level 2. And this is 1 level higher. Hello guys. Raiders again. Okay, let's get out of the way. We'll take the Driftwood Club and the Rustic Sash. And definitely the Wisdom Scroll. It's my favorite currency. I am somewhat of a gambler. Like, I like to play poker. Well, I mean, poker to me is not gambling, I have to say, though. But I think because of that, the Wisdom Scroll is my favorite currency item, just because you never know what you get. It's like a box of chocolates, you know? Dead ends. I'll take that whetstone. Oh, scouring. That's actually not bad. That's up there with alchemy and fusing. So that's a pretty good drop. It's a nice currency. The currency drops if you are in an area that is way below your level, which right now that doesn't really count. 2 levels or 3 levels. I don't think makes a difference at all. But let's say you're in an area that is 10 levels below your own. You will get less currency in that area, which I think makes a lot of sense. At some point they changed it, just because otherwise you could have gone to the, I don't know, the coast, basically, the first area, and just farm currency with a level 90 character. So that's not possible anymore. And the currency drops are, they don't go to 0 directly, but there's like a percentage decrease, you know, for each level that you're higher from a certain point on. So here you usually, it makes sense to fall back because you have 2 waves of spiders coming up. They get triggered once you get on the platform. Okay, all seem to be gone. I like to kill all the vases. And don't forget the golden hand, that's what you came here for. And now you can exit. I think one reason for my computer being pretty slow right now is the weather. It's almost 40 degrees. So, oh, that's actually the first time here that we see jewels. These are a quest reward, but you can find jewels anywhere. They will drop from monsters. And I would say they're mostly better, the ones that drop. Sorry. I'm not really convinced by those here. So we don't have any physical damage. All resist I don't think is interesting. So the only thing for us would be mana regen and yeah, and elemental damage. The only thing that it's good for, so you don't have to, I think you can sell it to the vendor straight away if you want to. Yeah, but you don't get anything for it. What you should use it for, survival secrets at some point, but that's way later on. There's one challenge here for both leagues that says corrupt these unique jewels, and this is survival secrets, and it's in the list right here. So just save it, and then once you get Vol Orbs, you should probably not use the first one on it. You should save the first one, just in case you have something that would actually be really good to Vol Orb. But if you have the second or third one, you can do it. Okay, I'll just clear my inventory. Alright, inventory clear, and we're back in the wetlands. And now let's head into the Vol Ruins. From the load time you can see I actually went here before and skipped the load time already. So you're very welcome. This is definitely better to gain experience again. It's exactly our level right now. But since I told you guys you should look for even being 1, 2, maybe even 3 levels below, we won't fight much in here. We'll just be looking for the exit. Well, we'll fight blues. Blink arrow. That's probably again something that we can't really sell anymore. So the sad part about the changes with being able to buy gems from the vendor is that you basically have to sell most gems to the vendor now as well, because there's no other use for them. There's some recipes that you can use them with or use them for, but you will have way more gems than you could ever use for those recipes. This usually is a dead end. Let's see if it... Nope, this time it's not. Hey guys. Okay. And let's keep going. Yeah, so you can see it's super easy to go through here. I'm way too strong for the opponents that I have here right now. Let's identify this. That's actually really good. It's not really dangerous because it will explode, but by the time it explodes, we're already far away. It ignites, which, again, it's not that dangerous. And magic items, 2 additional sockets. I haven't even seen that. I think that's a new addition with the 2 additional. I only know 1 additional socket. So this could be really interesting. And this could potentially be a 5-link. Obviously low chance that it is, but yeah. This hope dies last. Okay. So plank shield. What kind of boots do we have? Okay, so we don't really... We'll take the bone shield as well. Hawkman, quartz wand. There's a rare over here. Hello. Yeah, so you can see even by just killing a few mobs in the area, you'll still get your level up. So don't overdo it by killing too many. A sapphire flask. Okay, this is the first utility flask that we see. And this one will give us 50 cold resist for 3.5 seconds. And an additional 10% to maximum cold resist, which means if you look at your defenses, you can see... Actually, right now you can't see, but I'm gonna tell you that your maximum cold resist that you can get normally is 75%. And with this, you can push it up to 85%. So these flasks actually get really important later on when you're fighting dangerous bosses. For example, for Atziri, a lot of people use a flask that gives you the same for fire. So you get 10% higher maximum fire resist. And there's some mathematics involved there where you can calculate how much percentage-wise that will decrease her damage. And I can tell you it's not just 10%, it's like 30% or so. So it's pretty significant. But we're not even close to that. Okay, this is not the way I want to go. I probably went through the whole thing until I found this. Just touched the ancient seal. And now you obviously brought doom to the entire world.
No.
And you have to find a way to lift the darkness.
I have to find it.
We'll be on our way to do this. Okay, let's get the skill point up and ready. So we do have this here, we do have this. Where are we going next? I think we're actually gonna go down here next. So we will get more projectile damage. It's 185, and now we have 194. We don't necessarily need the extra damage, but we have to go through there anyway. So why not? Damage is cool. Alright, those guys actually use the same attack as we. They use Incinerate as well. Lightning Warp, Flame Dash. Sadly, you can't see it anymore because I killed all of them. Nope, there's one. Come on, do it. Ooh. Yep, here we go. So the longer they can attack you, the more damage they deal, because yeah, they have the same attack, and you have the 3 different levels or damage levels of the attack. So be careful to kill them relatively quickly. Citrine Amulet. I think that's the first time we see one of these. So I guess from now on we'll see them more often, where it's not just one attribute, for example strength, or another one with dexterity. Now they're mixed. They are a bit lower in terms of max values that you can get on them. 24 is the max, but beforehand it was 30 was max. So, you know, if you compare that, you get 48 now, 2 times 24, instead of 30 max beforehand. So it's still better. And here we're just rushing through again. This is 21, we're 21 as well. Yeah. Okay, the caverns. Now I haven't mentioned it yet, but the northern forests, I would kind of compare it to I guess it was called Black Forest before, which was in between the riverways and the western forest. So now it was just shifted around that in between the wetlands and the riverways was the Wall Ruins, and now it's after it, and then you get the northern forest. So the areas themselves, they're still there, but it's just a different setup now. And I think it makes more sense, so I'm pretty happy with the changes. It's way more, it's streamlined, so it's easier to go through the act now, and faster, yeah. Alright, here as well, it's 22. We can kill some stuff, but we don't necessarily have to kill much. These guys obviously are super easy experience, so we can kill them. They just run towards you and die in not even a second. It's my favorite enemy. The bears are a bit different. It's, they hit a bit harder. And they also don't go down that fast. So I usually skip them here. And if I remember correctly, this area, the caverns, had 2 levels as well. And here they got rid of 1 level as well. So we will get into the area that directly leads to Wall. Straight from here, from the first level. And this should be the end. Yeah, you can always recognize when you're there, because it's always the same shape of the tunnel. So we get our waypoint right here. How far are we along? I'll empty my stash. Just to show you guys, I usually do check the vendor once I level up. And there's a pretty nice ruby ring on here with 37 life. Usually I would buy this and then use an augment and hope that I get a second resist on it. But right now, I don't really need fire resist, so I don't think it's worth buying because I already have 72% fire resist. coming from my chess piece. And I don't think it makes sense to buy it for the time that I get rid of my chess piece, because I think before that I will probably find a better ring anyway. So we can just save the currency.
Hello.
Another thing, I wanted to look here and see if there's anything that I missed out on, because there are new ones here. Tempest Shield, I think. I do need Tempest Shield. And I do not have it. Yes. I want to go for Tempest Shield here. And Arctic Armor, which, again, I don't think we have. Nope, we don't. Okay, so let's get those two. And I'll just switch them in real fast. We don't need to level Spectral Throw. And we don't need to level Flesh Offering. So we'll just put these in here. And off we go. Okay, now we basically made it all the way to Vol. And we don't have much time left to 25 minutes, but I think we're just gonna... Oh, we don't. No, we're not gonna rush it through. Okay, we'll do Haku, and then after that we'll probably end the episode. And then next episode we'll just rush through the area here. Go for the boss of Act 2, and we can probably, because I don't think that's gonna take long, we can probably already start off with Act 3. And do a fair bit there. Now you don't, if you are leveling yourself, you don't really have to do the same thing as me. Oh, Soul Conduit. If you don't know Soul Conduit, if you have a mob with Soul Conduit, you want to get it away from a big group of already dead monsters, so a group of corpses. Because once I kill this guy, let's pull him over here, because we have some corpses here. Once I kill him, he will revive the rest. So this can be really dangerous. For example, with the strong boxes, you might have high damage, and you open the strong box, and you just try to kill everything right away. So you kill all of the monsters, and then one of them has Soul Conduit, and he just revives everybody again. And then they kill you. So just always when you see a rare mob, check what it is. There's corrupting blood as well. There's a lot of things that could potentially be really dangerous. This is Union of Souls. This is interesting as well. I think this game is a lot about just knowing what to look after or what to look out for. And that's why I like to play a bit slower, because going really fast here is mostly what gets you killed. Not because you're a bad player, but just because you don't really have the time to see what's coming your way. Okay, this guy is fire-based. Should be very easy. I have really high fire. Okay, I don't really have to mention it. Most of what you saw here, we've already talked about it in my tutorial that I had before. If you don't know any of the skills and you want to know more about them, either go on the wiki or just leave a comment. I'll be happy to help you out, but I think it's too much explaining if I go and talk about every skill. Oh, whoops. Yeah. This one is actually dangerous because it summons more and more of the SRS. Summon raising... damn, what's the name? Summon... blah 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 skeletons. I just know as SRS. That's all I need to know. Okay, let's get some more projectile damage here. And kill this guy because he's annoying. Get the experience from Haku. And we'll just take the easy way out here. Going back to town. This area will obviously reset, which has 2 benefits. We get more XP because we run through it again, and we might get another master. So the next time we might be able to finally get one of our masters to level 3. Oh, and I have my fire resist ring now, so what I can do before we end the episode, this one is actually a good one to show it off with. One alteration. So if you wanna, and we talked about this before in theory, if you want to get your +1 to fire gems on a wand or a scepter, ideally you want to have a 3-link already, because that's the best you can get, and you want to have a 3-link that has the colors that you need. So in my case, Incinerate, Faster Cast is both blue, and then I would ideally need a red one as well, which is Fire Penetration. I will get that at some point. So if you have the right colors and a 3-link, again, ideally, you can do it with any wand if you want. You put the wand in, 1 alteration and a fire ring. Oh, haha. Same mistake as before. My bad. You use a transmutation on the wand first, because it has to be magic. So if you want to save your transmutation, you can obviously pick up a magic wand. And then you put all of this in. And here you get the +1 to fire gems. Always check it before you sell something, because if you just see armor, if you just see something like this here, the wisdom scrolls or the fragments, then you don't have the right recipe in there. Now, the sockets are not shown, but they changed it so they stay the same. So we will have the 3-link, I believe, with the blue sockets. I definitely know that it's a 3-link. So that's what I wanted to show you guys, and then you obviously use an augment on here to try and get a good roll on the second value as well, which I don't have to do because I already... What I could do actually is I could transmute this, because I still have my very, very shitty coral ring here, and this is actually better. I'll use this. I get mana, which I definitely need. I run out of it all the time. And some lightning resist. Okay. Alright. That's all we need for this episode. The next time we will call Vault and start with Act 3. I hope you guys enjoyed this episode. If you did, leave any comments you like, give it a thumbs up, and I hope you subscribe, so you get an announcement whenever I upload the next video, which will be soon. I'll see you then.